Playing with Fire. Episode 1. The night was thick with the scent of rain and the hushed, eerie wind rushing through New Orleans' deep street. Neon lights twinkled through the mist, emitting a bizarre glow on the deserted streets. Tara Quinn maneuvered the zigzag alleyways with practiced ease, her hood pulled low over her face. She was on a mission, and there was no room for error. Her fingers itched to reach her laptop, the one lifeline she had left. Inside the safe house, she quickly set up her gear, her mind racing. She had only hours to hack into the impregnable system of Lucian Blackwood, the city's most feared crime lord. Her younger sister, Jodie, had been kidnapped by a rival gang, and their demand was simple: bring down Blackwood, or Jodie dies. Tara's heart pounded as she cracked her knuckles and dove into the digital citadel. She had made a name for herself in the underground hacking world as Ghost Cipher, but this was different. One mistake could cost her everything. As the codes and firewalls fell before her, she couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. Across town, in a lavish penthouse that overlooked the city, Lucian Blackwood sipped his bourbon, eyes fixed on the flitting screens of his surveillance system. He had been aware of the attempted breach almost immediately. Impressive, he murmured to himself, leaning forward. The hacker was good, better than anyone he had encountered, but not good enough. With a few keystrokes, Lucian isolated the signal and traced it back. His eyes narrowed as he recognized the location. Ghost Cipher, he said, a smile curling on his lips. Let's see who you really are, since you chose to play with fire. Tara was close to breaking through the final layer of security when the screen went black. Panic surged through her veins. No, 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 she muttered, her fingers flying over the keyboard in a desperate attempt to regain control. But it was too late. A single message flashed across the screen. Nice try, Ghost Cipher. Now it's my turn. The door behind her burst open, and before she could react, two men grabbed her, yanking her away from the computer. She struggled, but they were too strong. The last thing she saw before a bag was thrown over her head was the countdown on her screen ticking away to 0. Jodie's time was running out. Bound and blindfolded, Tara was dragged through what felt like a maze. When the bag was finally removed, she found herself in a dimly lit room, facing Lucian Blackwood. He was even more intimidating in person, his presence commanding and cold. Welcome, Ghost Cipher, he said, his voice smooth and dangerous. Or should I say, Tara Quinn? Tara's eyes widened, but she quickly masked her surprise with defiance. Where is my sister? She demanded. Lucian leaned back in his chair, studying her. Your sister is safe for now, but her fate depends on you. What do you want? Tara spat, her fear masked by anger. Lucian's smile was devoid of warmth. I need your skills, Miss Quinn. You see, you've stumbled into a game much larger than you realize. Help me eliminate my enemies, and I'll ensure your sister's safety. Refuse, and he let the threat hang in the air. Tara's mind raced. She had no choice. For Jodie, she would do anything, even make a deal with the devil. Fine, she said, her voice steady. I'll help you, but if anything happens to Jodie, I will destroy you. Lucian's eyes glittered with amusement, and something else she couldn't quite identify. You have my word, Miss Quinn. Welcome to the game. As Tara was escorted out, her thoughts were a whirlwind of fear, anger, and a reluctant determination. She was in deep now, deeper than she had ever been. But she would find a way to save Jodie, even if it meant playing Lucian Blackwood's dangerous game. The alarm blared like a siren in Tara Quinn's mind, the noise cutting through the dimly lit room with a piercing intensity. Lucian Blackwood's eyes were locked on hers, suspicion and anger burning in his gaze. Tara's heart pounded in her chest, the sound of her pulse drowning out the chaos that was erupting around them. I swear I didn't do anything, Tara insisted, her voice steady despite the turmoil inside her. Lucian's eyes narrowed. I find that hard to believe, Ghost Cipher. Before she could respond, one of Lucian's men burst into the room, his face a mask of panic. Boss, we've got a breach. It's not just one hacker, we're under full-scale attack. Lucian's jaw tightened. He looked back at Tara, his expression a mixture of anger and calculation. Looks like your game just got a lot more interesting. Tara's mind raced. This wasn't part of the plan. Who else was coming after Lucian, And what did it mean for Jodie? Every second counted. She had to think fast. Lucian motioned to his men. Lock down the building. No one gets in or out. As the guards scrambled to secure the premises, Lucian grabbed Tara by the arm, pulling her close. You're coming with me. If this is your doing, you'll pay dearly. Tara yanked her arm free. I told you. I don't know anything about this attack. But if you want my help, I need to know that my sister is safe. Lucian hesitated, then nodded to one of his men. Take her to see the girl. Make sure she's unharmed. Tara followed the guard through the twisting corridors, her mind racing with possibilities. Who could be behind this breach? Her thoughts flickered to other rival gangs, or perhaps a vigilante group. But none of it made sense, not yet. They reached a heavily guarded room, and the door swung open to reveal Jodie, her face pale but determined. She rushed to Tara, throwing her arms around her. Tara, what's happening? Tara held her sister tight, whispering, I'm going to get us out of here, I promise. Just stay strong. Before she could say more, the guard pulled her away. That's enough. Boss wants you back. As she was led back to Lucian, Tara's mind worked furiously. She needed to regain control, to find a way to turn this chaos to her advantage. When she re-entered the main room, Lucian was barking orders into a phone, his men bustling around him like ants. Lucian ended the call and turned to her. You're going to help me stop this attack, Ghost Cipher. If you succeed, your sister goes free. If you fail, well, you won't get that chance. Tara nodded, her mind already shifting gears. She moved to a nearby terminal, her fingers flying over the keys. She accessed Lucian's security feeds, watching as the building's defenses struggled against the unknown attackers. Whoever they were good. Too good. As she dug deeper into the system, Tara uncovered something unexpected, a familiar signature within the code. Her breath caught. This was someone she knew, a ghost from her past. Shadow Wraith, she muttered under her breath, recognition dawning. Shadow Wraith had been her mentor once, the one who had taught her everything she knew about hacking. But he had disappeared years ago, leaving a trail of destruction in his wake. Who is it? Lucian demanded, noticing her reaction. Tara looked up, her eyes hard. An old friend. And if he's involved, this is far from over. Before Lucian could respond, an explosion rocked the building, the shockwave knocking them off their feet. The lights blinked and died, plunging the room into darkness. Everyone coughed. The cough continued in the pitch-dark room. Tara scrambled to her feet, her heart racing. She reached for her laptop, only to find Lucian standing over her, his expression unreadable in the dim light. What now? He asked, his voice calm despite the chaos. Tara took a deep breath. Now, we fight back. As she reconnected to the system, another explosion shook the building, closer this time. The walls trembled, and dust rained down from the ceiling. They had to move fast. She accessed the emergency protocols, diverting power to the security measures and rerouting the defenses. But as she worked, another alert flashed on the screen. Shadow Wraith was already inside the mainframe, and he was coming for them. Tara, we're running out of time, Lucian said, his voice urgent. She nodded, her fingers flying over the keys. I know. Just keep them off me a little longer. But as she typed, a message appeared on the screen, sent directly from Shadow Wraith. Hello, Ghost Cipher. Long time no see. Ready to play? Tara's blood ran cold. Shadow Wraith was not just an enemy, he was a force of nature, relentless and deadly, and now he was here. As the building shook with another explosion, Tara realized they were trapped in a deadly game of cat and mouse, with Shadow Wraith holding all the cards. And somewhere in the darkness, Jodie was counting on her. With the clock ticking down and danger closing in, Tara knew one thing for certain. The real battle was just beginning.